Hey VC. It's been a while, probably about 3 weeks since I posted, and I have managed to accumulate a bunch of new stuff, new to me. So I'm going to try and go fast. We'll see if this is under 30 minutes or not. All right, first thing, this Dolly Parton. I got a kind of a care package from my friend where I used to live. Had a discount store that I used to shop at. Here's the first cat walkthrough. This is Jack. So yeah, he asked me, "Do you want me to get you these things?" I said, "Heck yeah!" So the first one is this Dolly Parton record store day. It was $12.99. I'm not gonna remember all the prices for everything, but I am gonna remember the prices for the discount store because they're always the same. So here we have Essential Bob Dylan. It's 2 LPs. I'm looking at the hype sticker. 23 tracks on 2 LPs. $12.99. It's really nice too. I'm happy to have it for sure. Then the other one, Everybody Digs Bill Evans. It's a craft recording. Again, I'm just looking at the hype sticker. Limited mono edition record store day. $12.99. If you know how expensive Bill Evans records on record store day usually are, $12.99 will blow your socks off. All right, so those are the three things that he sent me. Then there's a Goodwill pretty close to where I live. It's like on the main thoroughfare that I travel almost daily. So I've been stopping in. They didn't have anything. And then one day they had three things that looked interesting. So I was like, all right, finally I have a success at Goodwill. So this is Linda Ronstadt, different drum. And it was $2.99. Yeah, $2.99. This is the one that has that just terrible cover. But I was so excited to have anything, to find something at Goodwill finally. It's on this Capital label. I can't really read this this stamp. It's the person who owned it before, I think. But I can't read the name. It's kind of cool looking though. And then the other thing that I got was this Jerry Rafferty. If this was the only thing there, there's no way I would have taken the time to wait in line to get it. But because the Linda Ronstadt, and I was like, well, I really like Linda Ronstadt, and I don't have this record, so yeah, I'll just grab this too. There was one more thing. It was the Lily Tomlin, and on the cover she is sitting in front of the switchboard as Ernestine. I already have that, but I was just like, well, I'm gonna buy these too. I'll grab this one too. But I took it out and it looked like it had some pretty good scratches on it. So I was like, yeah, I'll just leave this. So I actually got two things at Goodwill. I've probably been, I don't know, 20 times. So every, 20 times you might find something or another. It's been probably a good week since I've been able to stop though, because I've been super, super busy. But I'm making it just a regular thing that I do. Anytime I go by, I'll just stop real fast because you just walk in, it's right on the right-hand side, the records are there. It's always the same stuff. It's always, Jim Reeves and Engelbert Humperdinck and stuff like that. But apparently every 20th visit, there'll be a little something. So, speaking of a little something, a cousin of mine said that she had some records up on a shelf in a closet and that they've been there for like 30 years. So I was like, and this cousin is quite a bit older than me, so I thought it's going to be Engelbert Humperdinck and it's going to be Jim Nabors and Jim Reeves and stuff like that. But I thought, you know what, I'll just drop by and just never know. You just never know what might be there. And Jim Reeves was there and Engelbert Humperdinck was there and Mac Davis. There was a lot of Mac Davis. But there were a few things and I grabbed them. K-Star was an influence on Patsy Cline. And if you've ever watched my channel, you know how much I love Patsy Cline. So I saw this and I was like, oh, hey, K-Star. And she's singing jazz. That's cool. So yeah, I'll take that. These were free, by the way. Then this is kind of the most interesting one that was there. It's called Hammer, and I don't know why. I just was just like, this doesn't look like country. This looks sort of interesting. So I flipped it over and I saw that John Guerin is the drummer. John Guerin played on a lot of Joni Mitchell records, so I was like, oh, hey. Sorry, I just got a text. I am one take Charlie, I just do one take. So I grabbed it and I was like, I don't know what this is, but I'll take it. And I looked it up a little bit, and it says the San Francisco Records label. Let me flip this over so you can see, because the label is really cool, actually. And here it is upside down. I could tell I'm one take because I didn't think to turn it the right side up. I'll just read this. I wrote it down because I thought it was kind of interesting. The San Francisco Records label signed the Bay Area groove rock band Hammer in the 1970s. The label was owned by Bill Graham, the legendary promoter. They recorded a second album, but never released it, and the band dissolved. I think I said at the beginning, I haven't listened to any of these yet. I just haven't had time. But yeah, this record had been sitting in a closet on the top shelf for 30 years, and was really out of place with all the other things that were there, all the, in between Engelbert Humperdinck and Mac Davis. I had never heard of this band, and John Guerin played on a lot of Joni albums, and I think they were even engaged at one point. So this, I try to pick up records by people who played with Joni. That's just the thing that I do. It never even occurred to me that John Guerin may have been in a band, and I had no idea he was in a band called Hammer. So I'll be interested to hear this for sure. Mahalia Jackson, I grabbed this just because it is her. I have no idea if this is going to be, recorded at Newport Jazz. It might be great, might be super interesting. It's a Columbia 6i, and I think it's not worth anything at all. It's not like it's anything great, but I think it's also a mono, if I'm not mistaken. So I do look forward to listening to that. Because everything was free, I just thought I would grab this too. I don't know, there might be a time in my life that I feel like listening to Nat King Cole, so I just grabbed it. And same as this, I can't imagine that I'm ever going to want to listen to Louis Prima, but maybe I will, who knows. I did look at the tracks, and the Mambo Italiano is not on this song, or is not on this album. I do wonder if any of these songs were in the movie Big Night, because that's one of my favorite movies. I've seen it many, many times, so I might have to take a look at the track list for that movie and see if any of these songs are on it, because I think when they're dining, or maybe, I can't remember, it's been a while since I've seen it, at some point they put on a Louis Prima record. So yeah, I might check that out because it is a favorite movie of mine. You might recognize this little guy, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I don't know why I grabbed this. I was just like, I don't know. I was just like, I'll just grab this one too. It'll be cute. So I did. Dean Martin, This Time I'm Swinging. The reason I grabbed this was because of Nelson Riddle. I don't know if I'm ever going to listen to this at all. The only reason I grabbed it was because I could, she just was happy to give me whatever records I wanted. So I just thought I might be interested in listening to this someday. Boots Randolph, I see, when I'm out looking for records, I see Boots in the jazz section a lot. I don't know his work at all. Honestly, I grabbed this because of the hype sticker because it's thrifty. When I was a kid, thrifty drugstore was, a regular stop. Mostly for that 5, 10, and 15 cent ice cream. So will I listen to this? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Then I hadn't been to a record store in quite some time, so I think on Sunday I had some time off. So I went up to this record store that is in a small college town. The record store has really good prices on vinyl, and if you've ever watched my channel, and you know that that is what I'm looking for. I still believe that you can find good deals on records if you just sort of like, source out the stores around you and just see, what stores are overcharging, what stores are putting, prices on records because they want to move them out of the stores. So I feel like this store that I go to has pretty good prices. This Ramones, this is their eponymous album, and it was $24, which is pretty good. I've been trying to pick up stuff that I don't have, like Talking Heads, like Tom Petty. There's a lot of things that I just don't have on vinyl for people or bands that I really like. And the Ramones are part of that as well, because I have probably 5 Ramones. I mean, honestly, they're just right there. You can see that box set. I think I have just like 5 Ramones albums plus this box set, and then I have some CDs. But this is one that I didn't have, so I decided to pick it up. So I did. Then they had this Kenny Burrell, Grover Washington Jr. This is called Togethering. It has a hype sticker. Autofile pressing. Also costs $3. If you know me, I'm never going to pass up a $3 Blue Note. You see it's on this, the 1980s Blue Note label. I have no idea if this is any good or not. It's Kenny Burrell, so it can't be bad, right? So yeah, I look forward to listening to it. 80s jazz can be a little, I don't know, different. Certainly not the same as 50s jazz, right? But I'm never going to leave a $3 Blue Note. I don't think you probably would either. So, this one, it's the next one I got, Brother Jack McDuff. Moon Rappin', it was $18. I had this in my hand a couple of times that I've been at that store and not picked it up. And I was just watching a YouTube channel that I don't watch very often, and the guy gave like his top 10 jazz albums of all time, and this was in it. I honestly don't remember what he said about it at all, but I was just like, when I saw it, I was just like, oh, that's that one I picked up a couple times and decided not to get. So I decided before I even went in the store that I was going to get this one. This was going to be the first thing that I grab if they still had it, and they did. So I do look forward to listening to it very much. I have not, as I said a couple times now, I haven't listened to any of these. Then I saw this, and I'm like, oh, it's Miles Davis, Blue Note. Of course I'm going to get that. So I do very much look forward to listening to it, too. And it has J.J. Johnson, the trombonist, who I think started going, I don't know the history of this at all, but I think he started going by his initials, J.J., instead of J.A.Y., J.A.Y. That's something that I should probably try and look up and see what's up with that. Also, I noticed that Miles is smoking a cigarette while he's playing the trumpet, so That's pretty badass. um, yeah, I look forward especially to listening to this one. Then they always have a selection of tone poets that are $25. And if you buy Blue Note or if you buy Tone Poets, you know if you buy them in a regular store, you know they're about $40, if not a little bit more. So, having another cat walk by. It's Jack. Yeah, so this is, sorry, I got distracted by my cat. Sonny Clark. Hank Mobley is on this. I had a few to choose from. I decided I was going to get 3 because there were quite a few. So I decided to get this one primarily because of Hank Mobley, because I am a big fan of Hank Mobley's. So, also Sonny has a cigarette on here. I mean, it's not unusual for the time. Everybody smoked cigarettes then. It's just, I especially, I think, always find it interesting when, someone that's like a saxophone player or something like Hank Mobley, who I think died of lung cancer when he was quite young, like in his 50s maybe. So yeah, so next one, Jackie McLean. Jackie McLean is also on that Sonny Clark one, but this one has Herbie Hancock. Both of these, and then the next one as well, Lee Morgan. Speaking of dying young, Lee Morgan. All 3 of these were brand new to the store. They were not there the last time I was there, which was probably a month or 5 or 6 weeks ago. But all 3 of these came out in about like 2001, 2002. None of these are like new issues or new releases. So I never quite can, I just can't tell about this store, like how they decide what they're going to get. Because I mean, these have been out for a few years. So, and they're not like represses of the repress. So I'm not quite sure what goes on with that. But anyway, I'm happy to have this for sure. And did I say Herbie Hancock is on this one? Which is also one of the reasons that I grabbed it, because I collect Herbie Hancock. Lee Morgan, The Cooker. Just a badass title to begin with. Honestly, I looked to see who's on this. Again, like I said, I haven't listened to even one of these yet. And I can't remember. I don't think any of my regular people are on this. My regular people being Hank Mobley, Herbie, and Wayne Shorter. I don't think any of them are on this. But I do like Lee Morgan a lot. Off the top of my head, I think that Lee Morgan was like 32 or 34 when he died, and he was shot by his girlfriend. And I can't remember. I'm sure if you like jazz at all, I'm sure that you already know all this. But yeah, I'm just like, imagine, 32 years old. Like if he had, like Herbie Hancock, I think is 88 years old right now. If he had had 50 more years of putting out records, putting out music. So yeah, I mean, it's just like, it's just super sad to die so young. And I mean, Hank Mobley as well. I think he was just about 50, under 60 for sure, maybe 52 years old, something along those lines. I just can't remember exactly. All right, so then this is the last thing I got at that store. Then yesterday, I actually had a day off yesterday, which was nice. And I had a lovely day. I spent the day with some friends and got to catch up with them, got to eat a very good meal, got to attend an event, and it was just very nice, very relaxing time. And I started off the day by stopping at Half Price Books. Where I used to live, Half Price Books always had a 20% off sale on like holidays like President's Day, which was yesterday. Where I am now, they don't seem to have sales. So I showed up there thinking there would be a 20% off sale, and there wasn't. But I was just like, oh, I'm still going to look through the records and see if there's anything I need to take home with me. And there was. So this is the Pretenders, the singles. I used to have this, or no, I still have this on CD. And it is, it's the greatest hits of the Pretenders up until about, when did this come out? Like 1988, maybe something along those lines. So, I mean, there have been hits since this came out, but super happy to have it. It's on a pretty cool label as well. Matches. Then, sorry. I saw this. I love Nina Simone, right? I buy Nina Simone records anytime I see them. I think this is probably one of those European pressings that are the songs out of copyright, and that's how they're able to produce a compilation album, something like that. It seems like Half Price Books gets labels that do that. And I don't know all the stuff behind it, so I don't know much more than that. But when I see Nina Simone, it's pretty hard for me not to want to purchase it. This I'm trying to think some of the songs on this. Summertime is one, I think. I'm gonna attempt to pull this out. I probably won't be successful. One take, Charlie. Just one take. No matter. Yeah, Summertime is on this. What else? I Got It Bad and That Ain't Good. I mean, imagine. I've never heard her sing that song. I've Got It Bad and That Ain't Good. Imagine how good that's going to be. Imagine how good Summertime's going to be. I really, really look forward to hearing these a lot. So then on Sunday when I was at the little record store, I thought about buying this, and I honestly can't remember how much it was, but I ended up getting the Ramones album instead. So then the very next day, I'm at Half Price Books, and I see this Tom Petty Southern Accents, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting this for sure. So I did have my coupon with me. So this was 18. The Pretenders was 18. I think Nina Simone was about 20, something like that. Then last two things are Hank Williams' greatest hits. I love Hank Williams, and I'm always going to buy a Hank Williams album that is in good shape, that doesn't cost very much money. So I think this was about $8. Then the last thing I got was this K-Star again. So I had been wanting to get some K-Star albums so I could listen to her, because I've heard her on, watching YouTube. But I've never had any K-Star albums to really listen to and see what kind of influence, see if you can hear the influence that Patsy Cline had or took from K-Star. So I just, I went from having no K-Star albums to now having two, which is great. One of them was free because it was from my cousin. And then this one, I think, it was under $4. It was about $3.50 after the discount. So I don't know what probably the most uninteresting label in the world. All right. Yeah, I don't even know how many things that was, but it was a lot. So 25 minutes later, and I'm finally done. All right. Thanks for listening. And I will talk to you later. Peace out, vinyl community. Ciao.